Hi, welcome back again. So, what did I want to cover today? Again, just another update. So, my last vlog that I did didn't actually upload. I don't know why I couldn't get it to upload. But basically, it was to announce the 30-day challenge slimmer winner for my slimmers. And the winner was actually Elaine, which I did then announce it onto my page for my customers, my business page. So she's already aware. She's had her 21 free products for completing the 30-day challenge, which, for those who don't know, was actually all they had to do was stick 100% on plan. That was it. It was that simple. And basically anybody who completed that was entered into the draw, and Elaine was chosen, or her name was picked at random from me picking out the pieces of paper. Update on my own journey. So yeah, still on it, still going well. I do throw in the odd step 2 meal as and when I need to. So for instance, today I'm meeting up with my daughter. We don't often get to catch up. It's my 22-year-old, so she wants to go and have lunch. She's actually on plan at the minute, so she can only have a step 2 meal. So yeah, so she wants to go and do that, so we're going to do that. What else have I got? Friday. So Friday again, I've got to have a step 2 meal. I'm out for the evening. But my convention dress has turned up, and it fits, except for it's a little bit big on the top half on the shoulders. I always have to. It sounds silly, but I always have to go for a size that fits me on my bust because I'm actually quite big chested. And actually it fits everywhere else, and it's a little bit loose on the top half this time. Bizarre. Yeah, I tried exactly the same dress last year, so this time I've got it, and it's just a last season's dress. Yeah, so got to try and have it altered on the top. But what I really wanted to cover today was something that's come to my attention via somebody else, somebody who sort of prompted me. They prompted me originally to get into vlogging, but also their particular story that they've just shared recently again made me think about how people view Cambridge Weight Plan. Now, I find that a lot of people think it's a quick fix, and I hate for it to be seen. I'm just going to actually turn my phone, like it's flashing in front of my eyes, turn it on silent before it starts going off. People see it as a quick fix sometimes. They might have done it in the past, or they might have heard from someone else that, you know, if you do step 1 or step 2, then the weight loss is really, really fast. You know, you'll get sort of, you know, the average of a stone a month, things like that, and just, you know, they see other people's dramatic loss, or they experienced it before themselves, for whatever reason didn't get to their goal, you know, medically or whatever. They've had to stop, or they just stopped, and then of course didn't work their way through the steps for stabilisation up to maintenance to learn how to maintain properly. But as I say, what's come up for me recently is people not really understanding the higher steps. I feel, you know, step 1 and 2, yeah, great weight loss results, you know, usually a little bit faster than conventional eating plans diet plans out there, but people overlook the higher steps. I mean, step 3, 4 and 5, they're all weight loss steps still. They're just what I consider to be more of a controlled way of eating. You know, it's a little bit more structured, so you know, the temptation to go off track isn't there so much as it is with what we consider conventional eating plans. I mean, step 3, step 4, you're having 2 products, Cambridge Weight Plan products per day, alongside a milk/dairy allowance and a conventional foods calorie allowance per day, depending on what step you're on, how much, you know, that calorie allowance is. But it's to be used on anything healthy balanced. So when you look at it like that, putting in 2 products, most people don't tend to sort of have a problem putting in 2 products per day. You know, they're quite happy to have something for breakfast, maybe a little something later on. Some will split their calorie allowance for the foods over the days. They might have a salad type lunch and then an evening meal. or they might have a breakfast, evening meal, have 2 products during the day. It's whatever works for you. You know, there's no set way of doing those particular steps. Everything is a guideline within the books. So, you know, it's working out how it fits with your lifestyle. So steps 3 and steps 4, as I said, they're 2 products per day, milk stroke dairy allowance and the calorie allowance. You know, even step 5 is 1 product per day. And I've actually got somebody starting with me this week who will be starting on step 5 and working their way down. It's not because their BMI, which is the body mass index for those who aren't sure, but it's not because their BMI is too high. Basically, they are quite young. And what we try and do with people who are quite young who, you know, consider they need to lose weight, or maybe the GP has recommended they need to lose weight, we tend to look at the higher steps and use those because they are about teaching you about healthy eating. You know, for instance, I've got one out. I had to go and dig it out of the stock room. We've got, that's obviously round the wrong way for you, but might not be when it comes up. Fresh and Easy. This is the cookbook that Cambridge Weight Plan have. And it's got some amazing recipes in it that, you know, some of them are sort of 400 or 500 calories, anything like that. They do go from step 2, but once you're on step 3 and 4, I mean, the recipe on the front, the Thai curry, that is really nice. You know, people who love a takeaway curry or something. But, you know, that's the beauty of the higher steps, 3, 4, 5. As I say, it's done in a more structured way. You get the one-to-one support still, but you can make healthy, balanced meals of your choice. So going out, socialising with family, friends, etc. isn't that difficult. I mean, yes, you can do that on step 2. You're just looking at protein foods to eat. But doing step 3, 4 or 5, you know, you can pretty much pick most things within reason when you're out. And also, you know, eating with your family, eating the same things they're eating, you're just making them in a healthier way or looking at healthier options. I've had slimmers before who've been on plan with me, and you know, they've averaged the stone a month still. That some people are averaging on step 1 and 2. It comes down to your lifestyle. It comes down to many factors. People always say the more you have to lose, the quicker it will come off. That's not necessarily the case. I mean, I've had people before who've needed to lose, you know, 8, 10, 12 stone. And then I had somebody featured in national press and social media and everything a few years back, and she went on to lose just under 4 stone, but she lost a stone in her first week. You know, everybody's body is different, and this is why, again, I will say this, you know, everybody is different. Your journey is about you. It's not about how anybody else is doing it. So regardless of what you've heard from somebody else, it's not necessarily what's going to work for you. You know, you might try and do step 1 or step 2 and last 2 or 3 weeks, and it's just too harsh for you. You know, it is a hard step, or those are hard steps to follow for some people. Some people find it an absolute breeze to just get on it, get it done, because taking food out of the equation works. That's what worked for me when I did it. I just got on it and I got it done. But that's not for everybody, you know. So I always sort of say to people, like now I've got slimmers who are on the higher steps, and like I say, I've got this young girl starting with me on Thursday, and she'll be on step 5 working her way down to step 3, because we like, as I said, with younger people, we want them to look at healthier eating options, and that's exactly what our higher steps do. They get you thinking about, you know, cooking if you don't cook. You know, the cookbook's great. Also, you know, I do recommend to my slimmers, and I say this when they're moving up through the steps, once they, you know, if they've used the lower steps and they're moving through and stabilising to get back to maintenance, look at Pinterest. For anyone who doesn't know, Pinterest is like having pin boards on your wall, or files, you know, and basically what you do is, for instance, you could, if you're on step 3 maybe, and you've got your calorie allowance, and you're thinking, right, well, some of the recipes in the book are 400 calories roughly, what else could I find to make? So you could go on Pinterest, go onto the search and pop in 400 calorie low carb recipes or 400 calorie healthy eating recipes, and basically then what you do is you find the recipes you like and you click on to save, and you save them onto the board that you've selected to be named, say for instance 400 calorie healthy meals. Then you might have another board that's completely separate, and you might be clicking and saving 600 calorie recipes on there. So I get my slimmers looking at recipes, you know, once they're starting moving up through the steps. But as I say, it's just such an or the higher steps are just so overlooked, so overlooked. Basically, I've got a customer just coming in, so I'm going to finish in a sec. But basically, you know, I'll come back to this because I do want to cover the higher steps, as I say. One, because it talks about people moving through, stabilising, getting to maintenance, but also the fact they're so overlooked. You know, if you're struggling on lower steps, have a chat with your consultant. Think about perhaps doing a higher step. If you're looking at doing plan and you think the lower steps aren't for you, then do a higher step. You know, they're weight loss steps and they're fab. So I'll come back to this, but have a great day and speak to you all soon.